Palmira Miro Gutierrez, and I'm 42, living in Tucson, Arizona. I've been here for over close to 25 years. Got here when I was 17, an old runaway from Detroit, Michigan, and my parents are from Jalisco, Mexico. I think when I approached the grant or this project, the initial idea was to produce an image that would tell a story of what it was like for me to live here and coexisting in the desert. And yeah, I think that's the story that I'd be telling in that piece. Okay, so once I applied and I received notice that I was accepted for this project, I was first blown away. I was like, okay, well, now it's gotten really real. And I started sketching these ideas. I was going out to the desert a lot and kind of just walking around and getting the feel of it. And remembering when I first arrived, unfortunately I had a drug problem, and so I think I came really guarded. Like I said, I was a runaway, so I was just like really protected, and you'll see that in the first aspect. It's the way I did the piece is in like a triptych view, and on one side it's going to be me holding a mask, and I feel like that's how I showed up here, kind of like with a lot of my guard up and not knowing who to trust and who I can tell my story to, and really guarded. And then on the other side is going to be me touching like a century plant, which is when I started to embrace the landscape, and I started pursuing a landscape degree like for desert sustainability. And that really like tied me in. That made me feel like I was closer and I understood my surroundings, and also understanding how like Native folk lived here and what it took to uphold this as, you know, caretakers of this land, right? And the responsibility that I had to nurture that and not, you know, just pursue that venture. And then the center part is going to be me with my mask off, sitting kind of like with my guard down, and I'm feeling interested. And then there's the Los Santos, las manos de Santos on the side, and that's an interpretation that comes from, what is the gentleman's name? Anyways, it's called Thousand Invisible Helping Hands or something like that. And because none of this, I don't think I would have lasted here this long without the help of so many people that trusted me. And that came mostly from the Mexican community, to be honest, where it made me feel like at home, because that's what I was used to back in Detroit. I was very nurtured, and in Mexico only with the Mexican community, and being embraced by them made me feel grounded. And so that's the story that I'm telling, as well as you'll see some like raw flora that I did harvest from the desert and from the neighboring communities here, and hopefully that translates. I think that the process that I decided to use was the cyanotype process, and which is a very it's probably the first forms of photography that I think was done maybe in the mid 1800s. But so I felt a little nervous being up against people who actually were painting. I didn't know if it was going to be like translate as well, or if it was going to fall flat or one-dimensional. But I wanted it to be hard, and it was very hard. Because like I chose 4 huge negatives, 5x3, I mean enormous, and with the help of friends we had to lay a bunch of huge glass and stuff. And so I wasn't sure if I was following, if my work was as time consuming, or just the process. I was more worried about the process, being up against people who are using such a difficult medium like oils or acrylic, you know. And I just wanted to make sure that I was on the same level as them, you know, because I do honor the process.